Hello, hello, hello. Awesome. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Nice to see you guys today. Nice to meet you guys today again. I'm so glad you're joining from anywhere in the world. You're practically welcome to today's live streaming, and I'm so glad you're here. I want you to just call your friends, call your neighbors, um, call everyone, and let's just make it a day. I'm going to make this very brief by the grace of God, and God is amazing. I just want to tell you that He's awesome. It is awesome. Nice. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining from wherever you're watching. My name is Ade Adeshida. See, growing up, I happened to grow up with my grandmother. Growing up with my grandmother, and she being a lover of animals, she was breeding chickens, goats, yeah, and goats to be precise. So growing up, I lived with my grandma, and she's a lover. I love her so much that she loves animals as well. That was more like a generational thing that I think um, a great grandfather passed on to her, a father and all. They had lots of herds and all that. So growing up with her, she happens to have a barn as well where she was breeding goats. And as a young kid, then I never liked going to the barn where the goats are being kept, their house and where they're being fed, simply because they have this certain smell. I never liked growing up, and I detested so much. So, but one very beautiful thing I really loved watching was when it's time to feed them, when my grandma goes there, and she just gets the food. I mean, very delicious food. One of the best meal ever to feed a goat with. And I mean it. She's very particular about their food and all that. She'll do everything possible to make sure they have great meal. So each time she went down to their barn to feed them, I just see all these goats just fly out and just rush down to our, going around there, trying to eat the food and all that, just playing around there and all that. So then I watched that so closely that I really enjoyed that, seeing all these goats moving around and she's going to talk to them. And so they had certain time, certain period they're being fed, in the morning, the noon, and also in the evening as well. So when I watch them do this, I'm so thrilled about it, yet I wouldn't go there. So a time came, someday I had to go do this. I mean, I couldn't just escape it. There was nobody to go do it. But I had to do it. Of course, I love my grandma, and whatever she asked me to do, I'll have to do it. So I took the food down to the goats. I opened the barn, the gate, and I got in there, and I was expecting to see this goat just come, just run around me, rally just the way to do my grandma, right? And just to feel that fascinating scene again, and nothing happened like that. I just noticed they all sat down, they were just chilling, looking at me. So I was amazed, like, what's happening here? What's wrong? This is their favorite food. No one has fed them in their food court where they have like where we put the food for them, right? There was nothing there. It was empty. Nobody has been there. Nobody has touched it. It was still clean because after feeding them, they clean up the whole place just to make sure it's neat and all. And there was nothing there. So I was worried. I was quite worried. Like, well, did anyone come here to feed them? Of course, nobody came there. And it was the time I got there was the right time for them to be fed as well, the next meal. So all I could notice was I just saw the goats, chewing on something. That's what I saw, chewing. And one of the best ones amongst them that I really liked you know, that thrills my grandma so much was still there, like their leader was still chilling as well, just chewing. Only for two of them to just run towards me. As excited I was, they just came and smelled the food. Guess what? They still chilled, very relaxed and still chewing. So little did I know then, and that was my first time to realize that actually goats regurgitate their food. So after eating for some hours, the food comes back to their mouth and they begin to chew on the food, on the past. That brings me to our topic today. Don't leave your past and your future at the same time. No, you can't leave your past and your future at the same time. A whole lot of us are so particular about the past. Oh, my dad used to be a wealthy man. Oh, I used to have this great job then. I remember that job I used to have was a powerful job. I was highly paid. I was well paid in those periods. Oh yeah, I used to have this boyfriend. He used to take very good care of me. He used to give me money. I mean, he wasn't faithful, but he used to give me money. I wonder why I left him. Or I used to have this girlfriend who was very nice and all that. But she was all a mess, but I should have just stayed. I regret even breaking up the relationship. Or I regret even leaving my grandma's house. Or I regret even leaving my father's house because my father was wealthy. I wish my father's money was still there. I wouldn't be where I am today. You can't leave your past and your future at the same time. You got to quit going back to your past. But because, the past is buried. Yesterday is buried, dead forever. We're pregnant of tomorrow. And today is where you'd ever be. The past is gone, dead. Yesterday is gone, buried. It will never come back. You are pregnant of tomorrow. You're pregnant of the future. But today is where you'd ever be. And where's today? Today is the future. This is the future. The next seconds that's ticking, minutes, hours, days, that's the future. You got to start living your future. Start living that dream. Because you see, I tell people something, a whole lot of things that's holding you down from achieving your goal, from getting to the next phase of your life is as a result of the fact that you are still having a tie with your past. Just like the goats, right? They had a meal in the morning and they regurgitated that and start chewing on it. That even when the new meal came, the new opportunities, the fact that you're living in your dreams, you're still living in the past. Even when opportunities comes your way, right in your mouth, you lose it. Why? Because you still have the attitude of the past in your mind, because you believe the past is just the best of your life. The past is gone. It can never be the best of you. The best of you is still yet to come. And you see, if you even have to fail your way to succeed in future, then you have to do it. Because you know what? Life does not give anybody anything. Life is not fair on anybody. Even the wealthiest man in this world. Life is not fair to them, but they gotta go in and fight for it. And that's where my favorite book comes in. That says, suffering may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. You see, and life does not give you anything. You got to fight for it. I want you to believe and begin to fight for your future. Nobody is going to give it to you on a platter of gold just because you come from a wealthy family. And so, no, a whole lot of people who are the most important people, who are the people who do one of the greatest things in life, are people who literally go out there and do what they have to do because they just have to do it. And that's what you need to realize. That is how you need to see it. So you need to fight for the future. Right from the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. You got to take it by force. You got to fight for it. Just like the goats. They saw a new opportunity, the fresh opportunity come in their front, come in their face. They could not receive it. Why? Because they forgot about, they're still living in the past, still eating, still chewing on the past. Just like the children of Israel when Moses came. These were people who were praying for the Messiah to come, who were praying for God to help them, to deliver them. And the Messiah came, who was Moses. God sent Moses to deliver them and told them he was going to get them out of Egypt. And it came, and when he came and got them out there, they were going in the first phase of their life. These guys saw raw miracles, like they ate the manna, they had manna from heaven, right? And they saw God did that to them, and they were very, very happy about that. But you see, after they were just right at the verge to take a shift in their life by the Red Sea, what happened? They confronted the biggest confrontation ever. Yet they faced such confrontation in the past, or such hurdle in the past as well. But because the state of mind is still in Egypt, based on the onions, the beautiful garlic they have in Egypt, they started complaining and telling Moses, oh, yeah, you know what? You should have just allowed us stay in Egypt. Because we used to, I remember while we used to have the onions, the good onions.